Oi, oi, people. Yes, yes. Peace, one love. Let's have it. Let's have it. Hope you're well. Hope everyone's good today. Yes, yes. Wow. I hope you've caught up with a lot of the bits and pieces I've put on the channel, regarding the mill, the farm, Fred West Farm. So I hope a lot of you have sort of got that now and hopefully shared it about a bit. It's really, really important to get the message out there that this place is looking like it has bodies there. From everything that I've been doing has pointed to this area. Obviously with the new documentary as well. As you guys know, I was at the mill before the Trevor McDonald documentary even aired on TV, so I was already saying that there was bodies up there before that doc even sort of hit. But thank God it did hit, because now more and more people are looking. More people are looking, they're searching on my content, and the messages are going out there. But do share it, because obviously, you know, they want to silence it. They want to silence this. The police know that there's bodies there, and they're refusing to go in there and do anything about it. It's absolutely disgraceful. And not only that, but if you've watched the videos, you'll see that the reaction from 90% of the locals is very, very hostile while we've been up there. We've been very, very respectful the way that we have been conducting ourselves. We've just gone up in one vehicle at a time, so not sort of, you know what I mean? These people live in the country, I get that, they don't want loads and crowds of people, so we've got up in one vehicle. We've not gone into the building, we've not tried to attempted to get into the building. All we've done is filmed outside of the building, okay? Done our little documentaries, our little 5-minute snippets and all that, you know what I mean? But every single day it's got worse up there. Every day I've been, and I've not been up there every day. I'd say every other day or every 2 or 3 days I would go up, do an hour, maybe a couple of hours of filming. But the hostility is just really, really bad. The last bad experience was probably the lady in the Audi who just for no reason at all just bombarded us with abuse, and it was just uncalled for. We were just doing our filming, we weren't being noisy, we didn't have any music playing or anything like that. It was just, we were just stood in a lay-by having a cup of tea, actually, to be fair. And she took great offence that we were there. She took great offence that we were there because the road had been closed, although it wasn't a police sign, it just looked like an ode sign that they'd actually put up themselves, to be fair. There was also traffic coming through, and there was hundreds of people walking through that road. So for her to say it was closed, then maybe she should have tackled the other 100 people who walked up and down there, the cyclists, the people who were on the horses, and the odd people who were coming down in the cars. So that road is not closed. It is not closed at the end of the day. There's no reason for it to be closed. There's no work being done to it. So in my opinion, they or somebody around that area has put that sign there to deter people from going down there. So don't let it deter you. If you want to go down there, you go down there, because that's what it needs. They don't want a big fuss. They don't want the police down there uncovering 20 victims, because obviously it's going to disturb and change where they live. I get that. However, Fred West buried the victims there. That is the fact that we are now leading to believe. So in that case, they need to be put to rest. How dare somebody in their rich house with their nice little Audi, some posh tart out there, decides that she doesn't want the hassle, yeah? Because she doesn't want the hassle in her life. It might disturb her little bubble for a minute. She doesn't want that. She'd rather those victims, them young kids, them young women, lay there in the ground forever and not be remembered and be forgotten. You are disgusting, woman in the Audi. You are disgusting, and I hope you are watching this, because you are absolutely foul-mouthed. You are an absolute disgrace of a human being, yeah? We're here trying to do some good, not earning any money from what we're doing. We're trying to shine a light on a situation which is literally trying to be dampened out by the police and every other authority. This will not happen while I am alive, trust me, yeah? I will not stop, yeah? If I have to chain myself to that fucking building, yeah, to get a reaction from somebody, I will do, yeah? But that's last resort. because that's when I start getting arrested. So, but trust me, there's a lot of other things going to happen. I would like to obviously arrange a peaceful protest down at the farm at some point. So if anyone is interested in obviously joining me, if anyone is local, anyone from Gloucester, Berkeley, Stroud, Bristol, the surrounding areas, please get in contact with me and we'll see if we can get enough people up there. We can do a nice peaceful protest, no trouble. I just want to go up there with a few people, a few banners, a few signs, and do a very, very peaceful protest, and obviously try and get a little bit of attention and get the police to look at it again. Yeah, what would it what would it really cost to get some dogs in there? I'm hearing that drones can go in there as well and do the ground penetrating radar sort of work, so they may be able to go in there without any sort of massive disruption. Although there may be a cost to that, there's not going to be a massive disruption, is there? If they just sort of maybe send the dogs in to start with and maybe put a drone in there, then something may be able to, locate something of an interest, and then the police can look at it and go, yeah, we've got something here now. What I believe the police know, they're really, really aware, because if everyone in the area is aware, okay. Now I've spoken to more than one person, yeah. We spoke to the older gentleman who came by with his dog, who told us quite clearly he had seen Fred West on site, and he was there. Other people have driven by and he's been digging holes and all sorts. Loads of people have seen him digging on site. Loads of people have seen him on site. So, and again, they've all wondered what he was doing, to be fair. So he's there, he's connected, the evidence is there, yeah. In that 4 hours where Fred went missing before he got arrested, I believe he went back to the mill, and that's where he moved his bag of trophies, where by the look of it, from some of the information I've got from great friends, thank you Gina, thank you so much, but it looks like he obviously got that bag of trophies and he moved it and he buried it somewhere around that chimney, or something to do with the chimney. The chimney's connected with this bag, so, and he moved that bag, which again would have contained things like missing bones, because again a lot of the victims, they had bones missing, they had teeth missing, fingers missing, all sorts, and it is believed that it was in a trophy bag of Fred's, and that was kept there at the mill, you see. So, and then when he had that 4 hours and Rose told him to go and sort out what he needed to sort out, I believe he went up there, possibly with his brother as well, John, and I believe that they got rid of any evidence that they had to, believing that the mill was going to get searched. Now, I know this because, again, that same gentleman I was speaking to said all of the local people were absolutely shocked after Cromwell Street, because they expected the mill to be searched next. Every single person in that area knew what had gone down there. They knew that it was suspicious. They'd all seen Fred. Most of them had spoken to him as well, because it's a very, very close knit community, I believe Big T, you caught something on one of our videos. I believe the gentleman actually knew Fred, didn't he? And I think you picked that up. So I'm still to look at that yet, but yeah, definitely that was an interesting point. So, and again, you wouldn't have not known him. It's the sort of area where everyone does speak to you. Even the people who don't like you, like the woman in the Audi, they will stop and they will give you abuse for just being there. So what a strange place, eh? Really strange. I think a lot more went on there than just Fred West, John West, and Rose West. I believe that they were just part of something else. I think there was a lot more. I think there was a lot more connected to this, and it's just something about Berkeley and the Masons and all that in that area. It's just all a bit sort of. Do you know what I mean? What do you call it? Jimmy Savile and all that. Do you know what I mean? It all connects into all that sort of Prince Andrew stuff and Epstein. It all, to me, it's all there somewhere. It's somewhere connected to Fred and Rose. So I'm sure somebody will find a link with that at some point, but weird, really, really weird. Very, very strange place. Caught an awful lot on the ghost box as well. Again, whether you believe in that or not, it might not be your thing. To me, I was a bit sceptical to start with, but as time has now gone on, it's absolutely blown me away what we've got out of that. So by all means, go back and have a look at that sort of thing. And the other thing I would say is I've been quite affected as I've walked away from the place. I've been ill a few times, different ways. Bad stomach. I've had, on the last occasion, massive earache, almost like perforated eardrum or something like that. It's really, really bad. It's improved today, but yesterday was in agony. I had to have a quiet day, to be honest with you. I was really, 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 really struggling, and it just appears that every time I come back from the mill, I have a physical issue somewhere. It's really, 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 really strange. Like I'm being affected, like I've been slapped or something in the ear, I've been punched. That's how it feels like when you've been in a fight and somebody's whacked you in the ear. It feels like that, and it's ringing. So no reason to do it. I've just literally, it just come on when I come back from the mill. So a few weird things. I woke up this morning with the front door open. Ninja had gone out. I phoned her and said, front door's open. She said, oh, I shut it, I locked it. So that's strange, for the door just to be open. She might not put it on properly, I said. I just sort of blamed her a little bit. But then I was in the bathroom, and I come out of the bathroom, and one of the hatches to the loft had come down, which was quite strange because it's kind of like one of those catches which once it goes in, once you lock it in, it's in. It's not coming out again. So you have to physically move the latch lid catch basically to move it. So I found that quite odd. Found that quite odd with the front door. And then obviously that it's like, ooh, hang on a minute. I've probably brought something home with me, haven't I? It's one of them things. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. But I would say that certainly strange things have been happening since I've come back. I can't explain it as anything else. I'll give you all the details of there. So could be just, again, nothing. There could be something in it, I don't know. But it's just those sort of things haven't happened before. They don't happen before. And it's just like weird how it all happens. And to have them happen one after another is weird. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. It's like something's trying to catch my attention. So, but I will be going back. Like I say, I would like to get more people up there. So like I say, if more people are interested in going up and doing, like I say, a peaceful protest, I don't want any trouble. I don't want anyone to sort of cause any trouble or anything like that. I just want to go up and have a peaceful protest and, just make it aware. If we can get some newspapers down there and stuff like that, then, that's only going to be good, to be fair. It's going to be good. And, I'm just hoping that if maybe we can set something up and, maybe sort out some sort of charity where we can sort some money out and, I don't know, and offer to pay for some of the work to get these young girls out of there. I don't know, people, I don't know. But surely people out there would be happy enough to sort of, put a couple of quid out their pocket to put in a fund to go and excavate the site. I know people would, and I wouldn't really sort of ask for money on anything other than anything that was really, really important. So, but let me know what you think. I'm sure there probably is a GoFundMe page out there for it. So obviously if there is, then let us know. And then obviously we can just sort of put that up and just make people aware that that's where they need to be sort of donating. If they want to donate, that's a very, 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 very good cause to donate. Because obviously it's all down to a financial situation. Whether the police say it is or not, we know it is, isn't it? Money don't come out of thin air at the end of the day. They've got to get the budget from somewhere. But on the same token, justice has to be done. A crime has been committed, and you can't just, you can't just leave it. You can't just leave it, yeah? There's too much now pointing to that farm. Too much. And I just, I hope to God that these videos help. And I look back at these one day and I think, yeah, I've really done a good thing here. I've really made people aware of the farm, more aware of the farm. I've brought that attention back onto the farm, and hopefully that'll the reason why the police will go there eventually and obviously search that farm. So, but we can only hope and we can only pray. It's been very, very taxing. It's been very, very emotional all the way through. For anyone out there like me who's got a heart, you know, and who's got children, or you may not have children, it's just like, these were real people, these were real victims, and let's not forget that for a minute, you know, for all the people trolling and think they're having fun and stuff like that. These are really real victims that we're talking about, and, you know, we're trying to sort of make their memory better by, you know, at least giving them some form of closure, some form of ending, rather than just not knowing where they are. I hate to think how many bodies are there. I would say on my life, I guarantee there are bodies there. I think the only question is how many, but I guarantee you on my life there is bodies there. Yeah, you can feel the atmosphere. Okay, there is history. There is history going back, obviously, on the mill, you know, before. So there could be other spirits there, other apparitions, other feelings, other things that have happened. Again, Gina's given us loads of information. I believe a young lady got her hair caught in one of the machinery and was crushed to death and basically died. So, but yeah, a lot of accidents used to happen in these old factories back in the day. It was quite common for people to, you know, lose a limb, lose a finger, or lose a life in those types of environments, because, you know, back in the day they didn't have the health and safety that they do now. You know, they didn't have all the safety procedures. It was just a case of get on with the job, produce as much of whatever you were producing as you can, and get it to market and sell it. It was just, you know, the safety side of it was sort of kind of put aside a little bit and more put into sort of the production of getting the work and making the money. So, and for that, obviously a lot of people, as you know, up and down the country lost their lives in these factories. So from that point of view, that ties into the lady we saw in the window as we were moving away. We believe that the lady that died in the mill in that accident, we do believe that she was more than likely going to be that ghost that we saw as we were pulling away from the mill originally. So quite strange. Lady with dark hair. You may have remembered the original, you may not have. Go back and have a look at them, but you'll see we got some great footage in there. Big T took it as well and he enhanced it as well, so go and have a look on his channel and you'll see that there's definitely something moving there, and it's very, 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 very odd, and it just kind of ties in a little bit to that story that obviously Gina provided us with, which is brilliant. So there's more detail on that, which I'm going to go through. I don't retain information very well, so I just remember snippets, so you will have to bear with me, but I've got a lot to go through on obviously that. So like anywhere, like I say, lots and lots of history of the place anywhere. Fred apparently loved it. He just loved the place. He had a lot of time for it. He was there an awful lot, and again, this is what the locals are telling me, and I do believe, especially when you've said, when you've spoken to somebody and they've said they've gone by and he's there digging holes on site. Come on, people, do you know what I mean? If that isn't enough reason for Gloucester Police to open up the case that somebody or more than one person is seeing him on site digging holes. Come on, Gloucester Police, man. What do you need? All you're doing is you're proving that you're corrupt now. You're proving that you got the information and you don't want to do anything about it. It's not like the building's doing anything. It's just falling into disrepair. It's not like, do you know what I mean? It's not like it's doing anything. It's not like it's disrupting somebody's business by going in there and you know what I mean, and causing job losses and stuff like that, because you've got to shut the business down like they did with the cafe and stuff like that. You know, it ain't like that. It's a different scenario. It's an old abandoned mill in the middle of nowhere doing nothing, you know, on lots of land. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for another decade or two so another police force can pick it up and they can deal with the costs? Because I tell you what, sooner or later, somebody's going to do something, aren't they? Whether you get a Lone Ranger up there, do you know what I mean, trying to do something himself, which is quite likely now, and that's probably why the police are up there, do you know, well, not up there, that's why they're probably, trying to close the roads off and stuff like that, or the locals are not very good about it, because, they're probably scared that somebody will go up there and they're going to probably uncover something, and when they do, it's going to be really, really, really embarrassing for the police, isn't it? Really embarrassing for the police. So the other thing I would say as well is if we could get somebody like Banksy to go and do a memorial on that building or on the wall or somewhere, it would be worth millions, wouldn't it? That would pay for the excavation in itself. So again, Banksy, if you're watching this, I will make a separate video on this one. I think that would be a good idea. I think somebody like Banksy could do a bit of art on there, and then it would be worth a lot of money. It would bring the attention to the building, and then if they needed to sell the artwork to do the excavation, then there you go. Just saying. All it needs is a plea to a great artist like Leo Banksy. He went that far away. He's in Bristol, isn't he? Or he originated from Bristol, as I believe. I don't know because nobody really knows, do they? But as I believe, that was the area where he originated. So, Banksy, if you're watching, we need your help. Yeah? I think that you're probably the only artist that they would not object to putting some artwork on the building. Do you know what I mean? Or the big blue door. Mind you, if you did that, they'd probably just take that blue door off, replace it and sell the blue door, wouldn't they, the owners? Because that's what type of people they are. It's very, very strange that the owners don't want anyone to search. I find that more odd than anything. Why would you not give permission for something like that? It's not like it's not a very good reason to ask, is it? It's not like it's do you know what I mean? It's a big thing. How can you say no to something like that, knowing that there could be bodies on site, and you're preventing that? So is that not preventing justice? Is there not something in that which is slightly kind of wrong and illegal? They are, what do they call it? Preventing the course of justice, is it? Because they are. Because you potentially know that there's bodies there. You've heard the rumours like everyone else. Fred West was there at that time, yeah? He was murdering people here, there, everywhere. All the bodies come out of Cromwell Street. Then he was arrested, went in prison. But everyone knew that the mill should have been searched. There's the facts. People were shocked in the area that that police weren't coming up. They didn't do anything. It was just like, oh, we've got everything we need. We found all of the bodies because there is no more. Case closed, and that were it. Corrupt Gloucester Police. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What a corrupt police force, eh? Yeah. And again, it all goes down to the fact that a lot of these coppers were visiting Cromwell Street on a regular basis, and obviously for prostitution reasons, yeah, that's why they were going there. They were getting favours off Fred. Fred was giving the favours to the, to these police officers, half an hour or whatever, and you can imagine, I don't want to go into it because it's just, it repulses me, but you can imagine the conversations, can't you, between Fred West and these kind of undercover sort of police officers and CID and people like that, and the things he would have got away with because of that, because he's got something on there. Do you know what I mean? It's not just that, it's kind of quite clever, really. It's kind of like he's got them in his pocket, because they can't shop him in, because if they do, they'll just finish their careers. They'll lose their wives, their children, their everything. They'll lose everything, because guaranteed these coppers were married men as well. So, absolutely corrupt police force. It's absolutely sickening to think that that went on then. But not only that, but to know that the evidence pointing to the mill is so great that the police force now still don't want to do anything about it. Yeah? So what would that tell me about the police force now? It looks like they're as corrupt as the police force back then, doesn't it? It certainly doesn't make them look any better, does it? Because obviously they're not in any hurry to do anything. Yeah? They're not in any hurry. They've not even been up there. Yeah? They've not even been up there. Absolutely disgraceful. So, and even obviously when the locals call the police, which the lady said they were calling the police on us when we were up there filming, the police didn't want to know then, did they? They didn't even turn up. So, you know what I mean? Another thing that happened up there as well after the Audi lady, just to mention that a guy did come out with his dog. He didn't have a lead on the dog. He just was holding the Alsatian, I think it was, by the collar and walked towards us in a slightly threatening way. Not really over threatening, but just the fact that he had the dog and it didn't have a lead. He was like he was going to let it go. So I obviously immediately started walking towards him because I'm not scared at the end of the day. I don't want any trouble, but I'm not going to show any fear to anyone either. So I immediately started walking towards him. He stopped immediately where he was. We had a conversation. We exchanged a few words. He sort of said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're filming." "You're not going in the building, are you?" I said, "No, we're not. We've got no intention of going in the building. We're not here to break the law. We're here to make documentaries for YouTube, clips for YouTube on the Mary Bastone case." Yeah? And at that point, he turned away and he went back in his house. But his intention was to come out and let that dog off. If I would have told him to F off or got a little bit of aggressive with him there and sort of told him, "Do you know what I mean? What you asking me for, mate?" or something like that, he would have let that dog off. And then there would have been a situation up there, wouldn't there? Do you know what I mean? So, so very, very airy all around. Yeah, and I know I've skipped around a bit, but I'm just trying to put it all into one little sort of one little video on what I think about, you know, what's happened. It was incredibly weird. It was incredibly weird, you know, to be threatened like that. I mean, to be fair, I could have called the police at that point, and I could have rang the police and said, "I'm sat in a lay-by, drinking some tea, having a bit of a chill out, taking some photographs of an old abandoned building, and some chaps come up to me, asking me my business, and looking like he's going to release an Alsatian dog on me." So, what would the police have done then? Because obviously that dog is a dangerous animal. Yeah? It's no different than sort of pulling a knife on somebody, is it? You know? You're releasing a dog, or you're bringing a dog as an aggression, as a point of aggression, yeah? To show that, you know, I'm going to use this if you step out of line, yeah? I think that's, again, incredibly strange in itself, yeah? Incredibly strange behaviour to walk up to a complete stranger who you don't know, who is not by your house, literally, is in a lay-by, by the farm, and just to come up to him with a dog like that. What do you think, people? What do you think? Do you think the people around there know a lot more than what they're letting out? Do you think the people in and around that area may possibly be involved with what happened at that mill? Because that's a potential, yeah? We all are thinking Fred, and then it was, oh, Fred and Rose, and now it's Fred, Rose, John, yeah? How many more are going to join the party and be involved in this ring? Because that's what it looks like now. It's not individual. It's turning into a ring now, all of a sudden. Who else was involved? Yeah? Why Barclay? Why Posho Barclay? You know? Home of the Masons and all of that. You know what I mean? There's something very, 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 very strange going on. And Fred West, Road West, and John West, they are just the tip of the iceberg Yeah, they're just the tip of the iceberg. I am telling you now, there's more. There's more. There has to be more, just because of the way it's all played out. So from here, don't really know what else to do other than what I'm doing. What I'm doing is working because people are turning up there. I've had lovely conversations with people who've come up. There was a really nice lady who came up the other day with her children, and they'd obviously watched the videos and watched a little bit, and they decided to come up for a drive. So if you are watching, peace and love to you and your family. Thank you for coming up and obviously having a chat with us. It means a lot that people are watching and they're deciding to sort of go up, and you know what I mean, just going up just creates a little bit of fuss. It just creates a little bit of energy to that area, a little bit of traffic to that area, and then all of a sudden it can't be ignored, can it? Yeah, can't be ignored. That's why in the end they ended up knocking down Cromwell Street, because they didn't want it to be a tourist attraction. Nothing to do with the fact of the bodies that were taken out of there. That's what they tell you. That is complete and utter bull. Yeah, because they wanted to make money out of it. It was going to be a museum. Yeah. So there you go. It come to a point where it was like people were turning up. Click, click, click. You know what I mean? Most famous house in Great Britain. That's the reason why it was torn down, for no other reason, because it was tearing the community apart. Yeah, the street was like, had photographers there all the time. You can imagine the cars, all being parked, and the disruption on a daily basis was just too much for the local people, and that's the reason. All right, so not anything to do with the bodies that were pulled out of there, and obviously the garden, patio, etc. Telling you now, I've been around all that time. I've been around since the beginning of when these bodies started coming out of Cromwell Street. So, but I hope you're all enjoying obviously the content that I'm putting out. It is quite controversial. It is quite upsetting at times. I do have to take breaks from it because it does affect my mental health quite considerably, and for good reason, because of obviously the subject that we're dealing with. It is very, very, very sensitive case, but just because I have an odd day off here, an odd day off there, and I'll go off and I'll do something else on my other channels, a lot of the time it's just take that respite away from it, just not to think about this too much, because I end up eating, sleeping, rave, repeat. You know what I'm saying? It's just constant. It's just constant, and it's just like, have to be able to switch off, because again, it's not a nice subject. So do excuse me when I have my days off, but don't think that I'm ever giving up on this, because I'm not. Yeah, but next stage, I think we need to get some people up there. And I appreciate there's people who are watching this who would love to come up and they just can't. I appreciate that, but there are people also who are local, and if we can get enough local people around, and maybe get 50 to 100 people up there, we can get sort of Gloucester Live up there. I'm sure one of us can get them up there. I can report on my own channel. That's all. I think that's all we need to do, but in a peaceful and respectful way, not to sort of cause trouble, not to get people arrested, because that's the wrong type of publicity. We want it to be in a peaceful manner and in a respectful manner, to respect those victims that we know are there. So keep watching this space. If there's anything you guys again want me to do, then just drop me a text or message on one of the videos. I'm not megally responsive at the moment, and the main reason is because I've got 5 channels running, and sometimes it just is so difficult to respond to every single person who puts a message out there. But I just want to say I really appreciate it. Don't think that I don't read them, because I do sort of read them. I just don't always have the time to sit there and respond to them. Obviously, if I did that, I wouldn't be filming, and not only that, I wouldn't be having a break from things. So I will get round to everyone eventually. So like I say, just bear with me on that one, but don't get offended if you don't get a response back immediately. It's just, if you think that I'm putting out maybe a video or two on most of my channels, if I get sort of 15-20 comments going through that, plus Instagram, plus Facebook, plus my emails. I'm looking to get about 150 responses to respond to a day. I haven't got the time. I just haven't got the time to respond to everything. So I do apologise for that. But I do read everything, and I will try and get back to you whenever I can. But don't let it stop you from feeding the information, because the information is what I need to sort of thrive and go on and obviously make these videos. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if you've got any ideas, because it's like banging your head against a brick wall now at the moment. I don't quite know what else to do really, but like I said, because people have been turning up there, you know, it's working, and that's the only thing I can say I can do in a peaceful way, is just film, make people aware of it, and get people to come up and have a look themselves and just create that bit of a buzz around the place. So, but thanks for watching. I will be back up there probably in the next couple of days. I am having a break now, so I am going to go offline and just have a little bit of a chill. But other than that, take care of you and yours. Thank you all for watching and supporting the channel. It means so much, and all your comments of obviously encouragement. You know, without them I wouldn't have the strength to go out and do what I do. So again, thank you for all your encouraging sort of messages, and that they do mean an awful lot. They really do. So have a good one though. Yeah, take care, peace, one love. Cheers people.